Hello everyone, I am Annie Gonzalez and the book I'm going to introduce to you tonight is called Fiesta by Ginger Foglegson Guy. Ginger is well known for writing bilingual books, Spanish and English, since she grew up in many different cultures like Costa Rica, Mexican, Switzerland, and also Washington, D.C. I chose this book because it gives the students the opportunity to retell a story in their dominant language. I will pretend that I'm reading this book to pre-K students, and the majority of them, they don't speak Spanish, so I want them to increase their Spanish vocabulary. I want them to become bilingual. And also there are other, the 20% of the students who have knowledge of the language, the Spanish language. Based on the standards for reading literacy in the Common Course, the objectives of this book are that the students will discuss a wide variety of literacy representing diverse culture, perspectives, and ethnicities. For example, I will show you some of the pictures here in the book. Shows a different culture already. You tell the setting, the architecture on the houses, and also the clothing people are wearing are from a different culture. In this case, could be Mexican or any Latino culture. And it will also help students to identify the beginning and middle and end of the text. This is from the standards too, because the author used a picture and minimized very minimum vocabulary, but the pictures, as students are gathering different objects, we help students to use their imagination to predict what could happen next or before until they get to the end when they're making the piñata right there. So students will be able to retell the stories using easy sequence on the screen and using the picture as a guide. Essential skills that students will gain from this book are in language, for example, students will be able to understand concepts singular and plural. For example, I'll read a little bit more to you. The author starts saying, una canasta, one basket. And then later on, next page, he says, dos trompetas, two horns. So different objects, one basket and two horns, and students will be able to identify, less and more objects. Also, students will be able to understand the concept of asking questions. For example, this author uses ¿qué más? What else? After students gather a certain amount of objects, this author will ask ¿qué más? What else? So students will also again appeal to their imagination to say or think what will come next, and also practice as a question I have to answer or I have to think about that. With this book, a student will also be able to understand the beginning of this question, as I said, and also this book, as while quite simple, it gives the students the possibility of showing images that might be relevant and familiar to them, and also will teach them new concepts and new Spanish words. Okay, that's all I have. I hope you found it useful, and I see you all next class.